Okay, I'm gonna try and break this down in like 90 seconds, probably not 1 minute. My name's Lo, I'm a former labor and postpartum nurse, CLC, mom of 4. Okay, so I like to look at it as there are 4 types of contractions. Prodromal labor, which she's asking about here, real labor, which is the one that causes baby to come, Braxton Hicks, and then false labor. Prodromal labor is the labor that goes on and on and on and on for hours and days, and it can be miserable. It can be exhausting. It can be painful. It can be 2, 3, 4 minutes apart. It can feel like real labor, but it is not real labor. At some point, prodromal labor turns over into real labor, but until it does, often you are miserable and tired. You may go in and out of triage. Your body is practicing, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just not the real thing. False labor is similar to prodromal labor in that it can start and it can feel real, and maybe you wake up in the middle of the night and you have 3 hours of contractions every 3 minutes apart, and then it just stops. And for me, that's the big difference between prodromal labor and false labor. Prodromal labor continues. It is like I've been contracting for days and it will not stop. False labor does stop. And false labor often can actually change your cervix a little bit. So you might actually go from 1 to 2 centimeters, 2 to 3, something like that. But then it does just peter out and stop. Both prodromal and false labor are going to feel pretty similar, okay? And both of them are prepping and practice and getting the body ready, so they're not bad things in theory. Both can be confusing, exhausting, send you to triage, and not be the real thing. Okay, lastly, Braxton Hicks, you probably already know what those are, but those are those like fake practice contractions that really can start really early in pregnancy. You can get these to go away, and that's different than prodromal labor and false labor, is that typically you can't get them to stop, but then if it's false labor, it just stops, and if it's prodromal, it flips over into real, or they both do. But Braxton Hicks, they will stop at some point. You can hydrate yourself, you can get some sleep, you can stop exercising, you can stop running around doing whatever it is you're doing, and eventually the Braxton Hicks, they just kind of stop and peter out. They don't change your cervix, it's just your body practicing for the real thing. And then the real thing is consistent. Typically they get close together, typically they get more painful, and they change your cervix. Now, you don't know if your cervix is changing when you're at home, so it can be hard to tell the difference. And so you just kind of have to pay attention to all of these things happening together to kind of help decide, no, this is real, this is different than it was yesterday, or this is different than it was an hour ago, and try to make that decision of this is the real thing, this is not prodromal, or this is not false labor anymore.